Welcome back, Algebra 1. We are going to continue practicing with the bubble method. Today I probably won't talk through the problems as much. I really just want you to try to practice them and then see the work that I show and the answer that I give, and make sure you're able to do that on your own. Alright, here's our first example. The sum we need comes from the middle. The signs, we have to look at what we're trying to multiply to and what we're trying to add to. If you're multiplying to a positive number, you need both signs to be the same. Since we're trying to add up to a positive, both those signs need to be positive. Okay, so now I'm going to write out my factors of my leading coefficient and my constant to look at my bubbles. Okay, so this is where I'm going to pause it and do the rest of the work and find the answer. And when I bring it back, the answer will be up on the screen. So pause it here and see if you can work the rest of this problem. All right, here I've got the rest of the work shown. So I showed my bubble possibilities for 5 and for 6. Turned out that the bubble that I needed to match up with my bubble for 5 was 2 and 3. We needed to multiply 1 times 3 and 5 times 2. Those products added up to 13. That's what we needed over here. So then I wrote my answers in parentheses. Remember, your first bubble tells you what numbers to put in front of the x's. We needed both plus signs, both our numbers are positive, and then we have to match up the back numbers accordingly. All right, pause it here if you need more time checking your answer with what's on the screen, and I will go on to number 2. All right, this time the sum we need still comes from the middle. It is a negative 30. We are still trying to multiply to a positive number, but we are adding to a negative number. So we need both of our signs to be negative this time. So again, we are going to be looking at the factors of our leading coefficient and the factors of our constant to make our bubbles. We know that the signs on both of our numbers for the bubbles for 8 will both need to be negative. Pause it here, see if you can do the rest of it on your own, and I'll put up the answer in just a minute. All right, here's the rest of the work I needed for this problem, along with my answer. So this time, the only bubbles that I had for 8 were -1, -8, and -2, -4. Okay, so the signs needed go with that second set of bubbles. The one that worked was -2, -4, so you can see how I multiplied between my bubbles and added those together, which matches that sum that I said I needed from the beginning. So then I just had to fill in my binomials to get my answer. Again, pause it here if you need more time. I'm going to move on to our last example for this video. All right, again, the sum that we're looking for when we make our bubbles comes from the middle. So it's a positive 15. The signs we need, we look back here, we see that we're multiplying to a negative number. If you multiply to a negative number, you know you need a positive sign and a negative sign. We just don't necessarily know which set of parentheses it would go in yet, but we'll figure that out. Okay, so this time when we write our factors for our leading coefficient and for our constant, the factors for the constant, your list will be twice as long because you can switch which one's positive and which one's negative. So pause it here and we'll be back in just a minute with the work and the answer. All right, we've got our last answer and work shown for this one. So I had lots of options for my bubbles because I could switch my signs on any of them. The one that ended up working was +3 and -6. So you can see how I multiplied there and got a sum of 15, which is what I needed from the beginning. The first bubble told me the numbers that go with my x's. And then I just had to make sure that I matched up the correct pairs here. So the 1 had gotten multiplied by -6, so I follow that smiley face all the way to the back. 7 had gotten multiplied by +3, so I follow that little nose in the middle there. That's it for our examples today. I know that this is quick and short, but we have been practicing this for a while now. If you still have questions, you need to be letting me know that, and you're going to have another practice assignment to work on now on Google Classroom.